Welcome, gamers, raiders, traders, and everybody in between. King Tokes back with another quick tutorial and guide on the game passes in Dungeon Hunters. Some of the do's, some of the don'ts, something to look into, something to give some thought about when you're jumping into it. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So one of the first things that it offers in the game pass is dual wielding. Now, if you're a new player, I highly don't recommend getting this. Now, if you're at the end game and you're wanting to do speed runs and do stuff as quickly as possible, then I would recommend it. But first starting off, no. Here's the reasoning why. As you can see on the screen already, well, weapons in your left hand only add 25% of their attack. The stats and the gem effect for this weapon do not apply. What does that mean? Well, first and foremost, if we actually jump back into it, everything on the left side works. Everything on the right side is kind of useless other than attack. So we are in Season 2, so I've been doing the grind, so I'm not wearing my normal get up here, but there's no point in putting the gems on the right hand. There's no point in re-rolling it unless you're running, multiple builds like I've had in the past where I want to, test something. So other than that, just gives you a 25%, damage boost. Again, for newer players, I don't think that's what you want to go for. That's not what you want to be using, your Roblox on, or your crystals if you have enough. One of the first things that I recommend for newer players, though, the loot roll. You get an extra chest, guys. Who doesn't want extra loot? It also gives you a bigger percentage on pulling more mythics. I mean, that's kind of the whole name of the game, is try to get the best gear, right? So increasing that odds, definitely worth it. Going to the lucky rolls, I highly recommend it. When you're a newer player, hold off a little bit, but for people that know that this is a game that they're going to enjoy and they're going to want to do, absolutely, getting the lucky rolls, getting the ultra luck is huge. The inventory slots, 100 is a lot, but when you start approaching endgame, you're going to be running raid after raid after raid after raid after raid after raid after raid. So it can be over cumbersome, let's just say that. But here's the good news, guys. Even if you're only stick with the 100 inventories, the moment you exceed that, it just sends everything to your bank, your item bank. So is it necessarily? Not really, but it is nice to be able to put multiple things on and not have to worry about being bogged down by the inventory. The starter pack, I don't really think that this is really necessary. Here's the reasoning why. When you start approaching, mid to late game, you're going to be able to get, everything but the crystals. But the key boosters, the luck boosters, you can buy those from the item shop for very few keys. So I don't necessarily think that the starter pack is in anybody's interest. Now you get a chonky epic cat. That's okay and all. But guys, if you watch my first beginner's guide, you can get a better pet right off the get-go with the first dungeon you ever even approach. So in my opinion, the starter pack is kind of wonk. Lastly, end game bundle. Oof. Let's kind of just go over it to begin with. Skip to level 150 and obtain all you need to go into end game content. Not truth. The packs grants the following. You get a rare centaur pet. Okay, alright. Full set of epic virtuous armor. Not great. 4 golden weapons, 5 of every dungeon pet chest. So, I mean, you get some chests in there. Okay, 5,500 keys, 10,000 dust. Guys, if you watch my tutorial, by the time that you get to the end game anyway, you'll have way over 5,000 keys. And with the dust, you'll have way more dust. And far few and in between, guys. I see so many people on the Discord that just bought this and immediately at 150 be like, now what? Guys, they don't have the skills, they don't have the keys, they don't have anything to go off of after that. So many people that offer that just buy this bundle are completely lost and broke. And they don't know if they want to be a mage, they don't know if they want to be a melee. They're kind of clueless. It's like, giving an infant a gun. I mean, it's just one of those things that you shouldn't do. Now, where this might be beneficial is if you're one of them crazy gamers like I am and have multiple accounts, yeah, this is worth it, because then I can bring my alts into a lobby, solo carry them in raids. Now I'm getting 6 chests, per run, and instead of just 3. So I just increase my luck by 100% in essence. That's the only time I think the end game bundle is actually worth it. Guys, when it comes to the bundles, skill candies, stuff like that, pet candies are kind of nice. The skill candies is really where it's at, because there's a huge demand on skill candies. They used to go on sale for 20,000 keys. Now, current market price, you're looking at anywhere from 29 to 35,000. So if you got, if you want to use some of the crystals that you have on that, that is a better use. Again, some of this stuff, guys, you can buy from the shop. Now, if cosmetics are your things, guys, God bless you. Go for that. But I don't really think that the main set is worth pulling for, especially just for my gender and what I want to be wearing. When it comes to these guys, some hit, some don't. I've kind of got my setup on what I want, so I don't really feel it's necessary. Now, when you're first starting off, this could be a huge game changer if you actually pulled something that people are wanting. Like, oh, we got Thanksgiving pet chest. I did not know that, and just am now finding out about it. So that's something, as a content creator, I'll be pulling for. This was a huge one that made people a lot of money, but also crashed the market. This Sinister pet used to sell for anywhere from 700,000 keys to 1 million keys in auctions. Even though the cap is only 1,999 keys, we found a way to get around that. But still, this flooded the market. Now it's dropped down to 300 to 500,000. Honestly, some people can't even give them away. So there are certain times in the premium shop where buying these chests are beneficial, but for the most part, it's the cosmetics, and people do go crazy on the cosmetics. People do go crazy on the auras. What do I mean by that is, obviously you see my electric auras there. Go to my inventory, go to your cosmetics, and you can kind of see all the different cosmetics that you have, can wear, angel sets, dresses, and kind of customize your avatar to be what you want. Normally you'd be seeing me rocking my demon tuxedo because I love purple and it looks beautiful, but with the new content gear out, I want to be a little show-offy. So guys, with all that being said, that's my kind of do's and don'ts of well, it's kind of lackluster, but the do's and don'ts on the premium shop. But more importantly, the game passes. So that's my thoughts. I hope this video was helpful to you guys. If you like it, like it. If you subscribe, we're going to be starting to do some monthly giveaways. But not to mention, guys, there's a lot of content that I'm unpacking in my Dungeon Hunter, starting back up with the content. I want to hear some next things that you would like to see on the agenda. Next video will be geared towards the season 2, the do's, don'ts. I'm also going to be doing speed runs on both mage and melee, budgets and fastest times as well for people. And then after that, the auction house is going to be the biggest agenda, and then following that be pets. But depending on how many comments I get on what you'd like to see, might change that around a little bit for you. But as always, if you always did what you've always done, you always get what you always gotten. Have a good one.